Welcome, welcome. Thank you so very much for tuning into my channel. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Sadie. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if it's not, welcome back. Today, I'd like to talk about manifesting what we want in life. A couple of years ago, I came across an article in Inc.com, and it was talking about a professor who did a study of about 300 people and his findings as to the difference between people that achieved their goals and people who did not. In this study, the professor found that a person was 42% more likely to achieve their goals if they wrote it down than if they didn't. Within the article, it talked about an individual by the name of Grant Cardone. And if you guys do not know who he is, he's a self-made millionaire. And he talked about how he goes about achieving his goals. He talked about writing them down, and he likes to look at them first thing in the morning and last thing at night, how he wants to be with his goals at all time, and just basically wanting to have his goals close to him in writing at all times. And if you did not hear the first time, he's a self-made millionaire. And I generally try to listen to people who I aspire to be. And there is something he must know that I do not know. So I am paying attention to what people that, again, I aspire to be like. So today I'd like to talk about how I have used this method to manifest things in my life. And as far as I'm concerned, it works. I know I touched briefly on how I used to write my goals down back in law school days, and how, as far as I was concerned, it helped me pass the bar. But I wanted to talk, or at least delve more deeply into it, and kind of give an idea as to how I go about doing it. I'm hoping that these methods that I tell you guys about might be able to help someone out there who is kind of has an idea as to what they want to do, but don't know about the ways to go about getting it. So the first thing I try to do is make sure that I'm in a clear space on the day that I'm going to write my goals down. This would be a perfect time for us out there to maybe try it, especially since we're going into the new year. And I know how people make New Year's resolution, but interestingly, most people just think to themselves, listen, I want to do this, this, and this for New Year's. And maybe you guys should try a different method, maybe writing it down. I try to have a clear mind at the time that I'm going to write down my goals. I try not to think negatively in any way, because I do believe that if we're writing down our goals and we have any negative thoughts, such as, oh my gosh, I don't think I can accomplish it, I think it makes a difference as to whether or not what we have written down actually manifests. An example of this would be, say, I want to make, $5 extra an hour. We'll just use that as a hypothetical. If for some reason I'm thinking in the back of my mind, well, that's a lot more than just a regular raise. If I'm thinking that in the back of my mind, there's a strong likelihood that what I am writing down as to my goals that I would like to achieve is probably not going to come to fruition. So I would write it in a way as I would like to make more, as opposed to maybe putting that amount if I am doubting myself. But generally, I try to be specific in what I want. Another thing I do, I am very cognizant of the fact that if I am saying to myself, oh, I do not think I can accomplish it, I am setting in motion what it is I actually want to manifest. And so trying really hard to not think those thoughts. I mean, it's easier to think negatively than positively. It is, for human nature. But if for that moment while I'm writing, I try really hard to make sure that I'm clear of negative thoughts and I'm only thinking in the positive as I'm writing down, because these are things that I'm going to be looking at on a consistent basis throughout the year, a month period, a 6-month period. So I want to make sure that I've been very clear in what I want, and also I had an open, positive mindset going into, or at least while I was writing down these goals. So once my goals are written, I generally keep it by my bed. It's the first thing I want to look at in the morning and the last thing I want to look at before I go to bed. When we look at things such as our goals that we've written down first thing in the morning, it does a few things. One of the first things it does is it gives us, or at least it gives me, something to look forward to. It gives me a plan of some sort, a direction, as opposed to waking up and just, oh, well, I wonder what today is going to bring. I have an idea what today is going to bring because I'm going to be working on what I have put in my notes as what my goals are for the 6-month period, year period, or 30 days. I have an idea as to where I'm going. I am not confused. I am not filled with worry or anxiety because I have looked at what I wrote down as to what my goals were and how I would like to achieve them. One thing I've come to realize is that we become what we think about. I heard this statement a while back while I was listening to a gentleman by the name of Earl Nightingale, and it has stuck with me since I heard it. Great men have come and gone, and there are certain things that we can learn from them. So I generally try to pick certain principles from certain people to help me fine-tune what my philosophy in life is. Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, said that a man's life is what his thoughts make of it. Basically meaning if you think about, or what you think about is what your life is going to be like. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, a man is what he thinks about all day long. And again, if you have your goals in front of you first thing in the morning, that is what you're thinking about as the day goes by. That's the reason why I look at my goals every morning, or I try. I'm consistent. I'm not gonna lie. It's not an every morning thing, but I am very consistent and I look at my goals in the morning at least 5 out of 7 days. So yes, I am what I think about all day long. One way I go about trying to manifest what I want in my life is vision boards. I don't know how people feel about that, but for me, vision boards work. I've been doing vision boards for, I want to say, probably about more than 10 years. And I can say that generally what I put on the vision board comes to fruition by the end of the year. I'm not going to be very specific as to what I put on my vision board for 2021. But what I can say is that every single thing on that vision board came to, and it is not the end of the year yet, except for one thing. And the one thing that is on the vision board that has not come to fruition, interestingly, when I put it on, I said to myself, oh, I don't really want this. It's just a pretty picture. And so from the onset, when I put this as one of my goals, I had not, I don't want to call it a negative thought, but I certainly did not think of it in a positive, oh, I want this. It was more, it's pretty. I like to look at it. And it's probably going to be on my vision board for next year because I really like the picture. Some of the reasons why I like to write down my goals and look at them on a consistent basis is because the first thing, when you are writing down, it forces you to actually think about what you want. There are people that wake up every morning not having goals of any sort. They just want to go to work and come home, have a good day's work, and that's about it. I want more than that, and I want to be more in control of what comes my way. And so if I have written down what it is that I want, the act of writing it down, to me anyway, it forces me to think about, strategize how I'm going to go about getting what it is I've written down on paper. It also motivates me. It forces me to be motivated, and it puts me in a place where I know that, hey, I have something to look forward to. It's not just, oh, I woke up, it's rainy, therefore, I'm just going to go to work and hopefully I have a good day at work. No, I particularly put down exactly what I want. And to me, it has worked. I'm not, how do I say this? I'm not a guru of any type or sort whatsoever, but there's certain things that I have done in my life that have worked, and I'm just sharing it with you guys, and hopefully there's one, two, more than 3, 4 people that maybe say this year, instead of just having a New Year's resolution, oh, I want to lose weight, oh, I want to make a certain amount, write it down. Look at it every single morning. Look at it at night before you go to bed and see if a difference is made from where you just spoke it out as opposed to when you wrote it down and were looking at it on a consistent basis. As I said again, I've been practicing this for more than 10 years. To me, nothing is out of my reach. Whenever I think I want something, I generally get it. And it's not just because I thought I wanted it, it's through hard work and making sure that I wrote down my goals. I paid attention to my goals on a consistent basis. So hopefully this year for New Year's, young ladies and gentlemen out there, you can possibly write it down, and you don't have to have a vision board, just write it down. You can put it in an envelope, read it on a consistent basis and see what happens. You don't have anything to lose. I mean, if you're making New Year's resolutions and it has never played out the way you wanted it to, this time, try it my way and see if that would work. I came across something called scripting. It's basically about the same thing. You just write down what you want in a letter, and in the end of the letter, you're showing appreciation for already receiving it, even though you have not. I believe it's something very similar to just writing down my goals on a vision board. Again, if you guys could try it out, see how it works, and if any of you guys have ever done things such as this and you've had positive experiences, if you could please let me know in the comment section, that would be really good. Thank you again for tuning in and showing me support. If you guys received any benefit whatsoever from what I just said, please don't forget to give me thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Once again, my name is Sadie. Have a wonderful day.